Inilah latar belakang terjadi kerusuhan di Inggris. Saksikan berikut ini.
Assalamualaikum teman-teman cerita Untungs. Kali ini cerita Untungs kedatangan Ustadz Imam Qasim Rashid Ahmad, seorang founder dari Khair Foundation dan CEO dari Iqra Television di London.
Somebody spread rumor that the attacker was Syrian, was Muslim, and was immigrant or asylum seeker. Some of them said he was illegal migrant here. He came on the boat on dinghy or he smuggled himself. Tommy Robinson is the man behind this. But let me tell you one thing.
What is it?
Tommy Robinson is his fake name. His real name is something else. I have it in my notes, so I have to look. And this guy have used 5 or 6 different names at different occasions.
Saksikan kisah lengkapnya hanya di Cerita Untungs.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa kabar teman-teman semuanya yang tetap support di Cerita Untungs? Alhamdulillah banyak sekali masukan yang luar biasa. Nah, itu juga untuk kritik, saran atau juga mungkin doa-doa yang masuk kita sampaikan, semoga dikabulkan doa-doa kebaikan tersebut untuk teman-teman semuanya. Nah, pembicaraan kali ini mengenai berbagai isu geopolitik yang terjadi di dunia, termasuk di Inggris ini yang sedang terjadi, dan bahkan mungkin Bangladesh sekalipun. Kita langsung datangkan seseorang yang infonya langsung A1. Dan beliau adalah seorang Imam Mahdi. Oh bukan, bukan ya. Ini ada kekeliruan dari teman-teman mungkin ketika nanti mengetahui namanya. Beliau adalah seorang imam dari Inggris, Imam Qasim Rashid Ahmad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
You're not the Mahdi, right?
No, certainly not. I feel embarrassed to be called Imam, let alone Mahdi.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. So how are you now?
Alhamdulillah, fine, mashallah.
So how do you find Jakarta?
I didn't get a chance to see you. Just been chock-a-block with programs and traveling and so on.
Oh, mashallah.
Mashallah. I've been to Indonesia quite a few times, so it's a very nice city, mashallah.
And then
apart from traffic.
Apart from traffic, yeah. Traffic is one of the travel destination. Okay, talking about yourself, that you're living in London or?
Yes, South London.
In London.
Yes.
Some days back, there are some kind of news that probably spread here in Indonesia. There are some riot that happened there, and in some media it said that it caused by Muslims, and then it affected with the big riot there. Even though there are some explanation after that, and then there are some. They reveal the name, who's the stubber and everything. Well, actually, what happened when you live there and you can see that it's called really by Muslim or probably by somebody else?
Yeah, actually, what happened on 29th of July, there was one attack in Stockport area, which is close to Manchester, north of England, basically. Yeah. England is a very small country. So in a Stockport area where basically somebody attacked on his students, his primary students or small kids basically, and quite many children literally got killed in that attack. The attacker brutally attacked with knife and so on, and while basically children were having a school play. So subhanallah, soon after that somebody spread rumor that the attacker was Syrian, was Muslim, and was immigrant or asylum seeker. Some of them said he was illegal migrant here. He came on the boat on dinghy or he smuggled himself. So these type of things started. And within matter of minutes and hours, the people started to plan demonstration against Muslims or against minorities, especially against asylum seekers and so on. And the way it happened, that they attacked the masjid.
Masjid?
Yes, masjid of Stockport was attacked. Police was trying to protect masjid, and police was attacked. Bricks were thrown, stone, and anything they can get hold of. Let's say there is dustbin outside. So they pick the bins and they throw on the police and so on. They attacked basically those hotels where immigrants were kept. Because when new immigrants arrive, government keep them in hotel, cheap hotel you can say, 2-star, 3-star hotel. They keep them there for a few days until they find proper accommodation for them. They put fire to that hotel.
Any victim?
Not victims as such, alhamdulillah, but damage to properties and some injuries and so on. Now, in UK, police is very, very careful. When something happens, they don't identify the attacker. Sometimes they don't mention the name, or they don't mention where he's from, or they don't mention his country, and certainly they never mention his religion. Right? Unless he's Muslim, then they call it
Muslim terrorist,
Muslim terrorist and so on. But if it is from other, but for the first time, police went out. The chief of police commissioner came out, and she said that it was not Muslim, it was not Syrian or Palestinian, it was not Arab. In fact, he was British born.
Right.
The attacker who basically slaughtered these children, he was British born, belonging to Rwanda family, or some one of the African families, not Muslim, raised as Christian. Right? Now, despite this clarification, within matter of hours, still demonstrations continued and so on.
Why?
I think it's good. Personally, if you ask me, it's good. Because this shows the true picture of certain individuals. You know, certain individuals. And we know now who is who. Right? Because we are keeping very close eye on the profile of those people who are attacking and demonstrating and so on. Right? So, literally after police clarification and after basically government and officials and everybody saying that, guys, come on, it was not a Muslim, it was not Arab, it was not this and that. Still, they continued with it. And they made a twist into anti-migrant migrant demonstration. Now, the organization or the group behind this, their short form is National Front. National Front basically is that group of people like hooligans, some of the, you can say, violent people you have in football grounds and like that. That they are the ones who claim that Britain is for us, not others. They even had other name like Britain First. Right? They had different names before, which they've been barred and this and that. Recently, they're using name EDL, English Defence League. Right? Now, let me reveal one thing in this podcast, which I don't think anybody would have heard so far, possibly even in UK. Right? Tommy Robinson is the man behind this. But let me tell you one thing.
What is it?
Tommy Robinson is his fake name. His real name is something else. I have it in my notes, so I have to look. And this guy have used 5 or 6 different names at different occasions. Number one. Number two, he's not British.
He's not.
He's not British. Tommy Robinson is not British.
His name is so British. His name, Tommy Robinson, is so British.
Yes. He chose this name, but in reality, I think his name is Greek or Polish or something like that. Right? His father is from one country, his mother is from another country, or I think Irish, has had it linked with Irish and so on. So it's not British. Number one. Number two, if he is talking about basically standing up for British values, he was arrested in America for traveling on fake passport.
So he's a double standard guy.
Yes. And he's been, his associates have been arrested many times, been in prison many times in UK for violating UK laws.
Oh yeah.
So it's not someone who is clean personality. And lastly, coffin on the nail.
Yeah.
He's not right now. He's not in Britain.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
The provocateur is out of the country.
He's in Spain in one of the island or like that and so on. He cannot dare to come to Britain because he knows that if he's in Britain, then he won't be able to, you can say, sustain. He will be most probably in prison. And so this is the reality.
I mean, he's kind of famous in X, if I'm not mistaken, in the platform that Elon Musk has.
Yes.
And spreading the wrong narrative about Islam. And how can just he's the only person who can do that some kind of stuff? Do you think that there are some backups? I mean,
definitely. I mean, he's receiving huge funding.
What's funding? From?
Huge funding from Israel, from Americans, from businessmen, from community. They have membership. They have subscribers. So within UK, they are receiving funding, but they're receiving a lot more funding from America. And he's calling himself veteran fighter, for freedom fighter and so on. He's calling himself soldier for Israel and like that. He's been to Israel boasting about basically standing with those who are committing genocides and so on. So there is, he's not that clean person.
Multiple standard with multiple names as well.
Yes.
I saw that somebody sent me the picture. He's with the IDF t-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, IDF t-shirt above of tank, posing above of tank.
Yes.
In Israel. And then you said that he has some funding from Israel.
Yes.
It's clearer now. I mean, who's behind it, right? When you said that he's not agree with the illegal immigrant, so he's supposed to be the one who's not agree with the illegal settler in Israel. Supposed to be that.
Yeah. In fact, in reality, in UK, before this happened, he has a court order, and technically speaking, he's not allowed to leave Britain. How he smuggled himself out of Britain to Spain, police is looking into that.
Wow.
So he have violated because I'm not sure exactly, but I think he's on bail, or basically, and I think he's violated his bail terms.
So how is the followers? I mean, spreading the fake news and wrong narrative about immigrants, about Islam and things like that. So how is the narration from the followers? Are they
I think
apologize?
His followers in UK certainly are still very minority.
Oh, minority.
Not generally minority, but very small minority.
Oh, small.
Yeah, maybe he is famous internationally. He might have people following him just because they find this interesting story, not because they are a fan of him. But in UK, general public of UK, I'm talking about English public, I'm talking about Christians, the real British people, they are not in favor of him. Yes, they are basically standing up for multiracial, multicultural, multi-religious society. Stockport Masjid, you might have seen the images on social media, that Stockport Masjid, the boundary wall and like that, windows were shattered and destroyed by these attackers. It is the English community of local area who came and rebuilt entire boundary wall very next day. Very next day.
It's a very cool labor.
Any masjid that is being attacked, the local community coming together and fixing it.
MashaAllah. They don't have to be a Muslim, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, mashallah. It's very cool community there.
Very cool. Mashallah. I mean, that's why, I mean, there is not much to fear about.
The followers of him, the who attacked the masjid, where they come from? If they run from the community?
They are from community, but they are minority.
Ah,
Right? They are minority. So, for example, let's say the demonstrations, if you compare with demonstrations for free Palestine marches and so on, for ceasefire or against the war marches, had maybe, let's say, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 people. His demonstrations would be 50 people, 100 people.
Oh,
right. Not even in not even in thousand.
Then the comparison is very far.
Yeah. But because it is media hype, that's why they're receiving attention.
Wow.
Right? Media hasn't given that attention to 250,000 demonstrators who are demanding ceasefire, as they have given to 25 people here. They ignore 250,000 people, but they're giving attention to 25 people. So if you look closely, basically, if you look at the photographs and the videos of demonstrations, these are the people. One of their claim is that these foreigners came and they took our job.
Ah, so this different issue.
Yeah, they took our job. Now, some of the members of EDL, I'm not saying all, but some of the members, when they were asked 2 plus 2 question, that what is 2 plus 2, they couldn't answer that. They said this is not valid question, or this and that, or
really?
You know, or you have to be. This is a question in which you have to understand the background of it, and you know that type of answer. I mean, who cannot answer 2 plus 2?
So the education is so,
and they're telling that you are taking our jobs away.
Yeah, of course they cannot have the job if they don't have the answer.
No. You know, even if they are given job of gardener or security guard, they wouldn't work for more than 6 days or so. You know, they would quit the job.
Wow. I just knew that this kind of problem happened in England. I mean, the country that...
That's why I'm saying it's good that is happening, because these people are, you can say, becoming obvious.
Oh, yeah. It's on the surface now.
Yes.
Oh.
And at the same, you see, if it wouldn't have been good if police support and government support wouldn't have been with Muslims.
Oh.
Right. In that case, it would have been nasty.
Yeah.
And there are pockets of incidents, sadly, where certain Muslim individuals, because of anger or excitement or whatever, they have attacked the demonstrators. Someone coming from demonstration, from their basically anti-Muslim demonstration, they're coming with their flag and so on, and Muslim youth have attacked them. This shouldn't happen. We saying to Muslim community, guys, you look after yourself, you protect yourself. Masajids and like that, of course, we need to take care, but when is demonstration, let police do the job.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, let police do the job. You don't come to that area.
Nah, that's why.
You know, that's what our advice is. And that's what bothering them a lot. You know, now you can see, subhanallah, that these people attacking police, they're attacking police stations, they're burning police cars, they're burning other cars, they're attacking, you know, they're attacking their own British assets. Yet they're talking about standing for Britain.
Yeah. English, what is it? English IDF, English Defense
League. English Defense.
And they're destroying the England property.
Yeah, they're destroying their own property. Right. So anyone can see now who is the real attacker and so on.
Inshallah.
So alhamdulillah, I mean, it's going in favor of Muslims. Sadly, yes, it puts especially our daughters and our sisters in danger. Because they travel out a lot freely, and in the evening they come to work and so on. So we are fearful that there will be attacks against our sisters, and there have been attacks. So those individual pockets incidents will happen, and we will have to pay a small price for this. But eventually inshallah, it will bring different communities together. And right now, churches, different temples, places of worship, writing letters to mosques. We are with you.
MashaAllah. Allah, how to make this kind of sweet thing happen, yeah?
That's right, yes.
Wow. I mean, the stabbing one is not Muslim who did that.
He's not Arab.
He's not Arab. And then
he's not migrant.
He's not migrant. He's, I mean, who's doing the destruction is not Muslims, but still Muslim, the accuser.
That's right, yes.
This is it was like an same old issue that happening in every Muslim around the world. Yeah.
Just imagine English Defense League, right? You are, let's say, belonging to English Defense League, and that means basically you should be super class of British, cream of the cream of British. But police arrest over 1,000 members of you since 29th of July till now.
Ooh,
how embarrassing is that? Over 1,000 people have been arrested. Some Muslims have been arrested also.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because you see, our youth are after all youth. Right. When someone shouted on your face, you will respond, and the fight will start. So when fight starts, then police arrest both parties. Sometime, as I said, that there have been some pockets of incidents where Muslims have attacked the demonstrators, which is totally wrong. We condemn that. But they have been arrested. So there have been sad incidents, and we discourage any Muslim attacking basically anybody else, including EDL. But you are EDL, you are English Defense League, but police arresting 1,000 members of your party.
Wow, it's so disgraceful, Inshallah. And this is interesting. I thought that in London, because I travel to London, I mean, I don't travel to many places in England. In London, I thought the growth of Muslims is quite high, because it was like around 100 mosques, if I'm not mistaken. I'd go to twice Jummah in London, and the Ummah is quite big, and I thought the growth is mashallah. And Palestine really hundreds of people, millions of people. There's no Islamophobia and there's no hatred towards Muslim. And then these things happen. Oh, probably I was wrong. And
no, this is a minority. I mean, you mentioned 100 masajids in London. There is one section of London called East London. There are maybe 150 masajids just in East London alone.
Oh, it's more than 100.
Yeah, and if you go to East London area, on almost every light lamppost, you will find Palestinian flag.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
And sometimes basically authorities, they take it down and so on, and overnight they put it back. But the mayor of East London area is Muslim, Lutfur Rahman. He's very strong candidate, mashallah. And he said people should have right to express themselves, even by putting flags and like that and so on. So anyway, there are around 3,000 masajids in UK, mashallah.
3,000?
3,000 masajids.
Wow. The growth. I mean, is it in Europe? England is the fastest growing Muslim?
Yes, it is.
3,000 is quite. It is much.
It's very high number. Wow. 3,000 masajids. We have more than 150 Muslim schools teaching national curriculum, English government curriculum. 4 of them, alhamdulillah, belongs to me.
4 of them, mashallah.
Yes, alhamdulillah. We have a number of TV channels over there. We have Darul Uloom. Darul Uloom, where basically students, they come and their boarding and accommodation is over there. They study for 8 years in Darul Uloom. So from start to the end is 8-year course. Darul Uloom for boys, you might have heard, but there are maybe over a dozen Darul Uloom for girls.
A dozen?
Yes, over a dozen in UK.
Mashallah.
Where, like you find imams. So our girls, all my daughters, they studied in Darul Uloom.
MashaAllah.
They are alima, they are muftiya.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
You will find mufti in men.
What?
right? Among men,
yeah,
you will find mufti. But where you will find mufti among female?
Among female.
Mashallah.
You have it in the ulum.
Yes.
MashaAllah. You said also you have a TV station as well?
Yes, it was it's like buy one get two free. So I have.
MashaAllah. What's the name? What's the name of the station?
First one is Iqra. That was in Urdu and English language. It was Bengali national channel of Bangladesh before, very famous channel of Bangladesh, and I bought that. And then change it to, we tried to run as Bangla language, pure Islamic channel. Then we tried to run in English and Urdu. So Bangla didn't click at that time. And Urdu and English clicked very well and channel progressed very well. After a few years, I was feeling guilty that, I took Bangladeshi channel away and because of financial reasons, I changed the language and so on. So I had that guilt. And suddenly there was announcement in Bangladesh that from tomorrow morning, not from tomorrow morning, straight away, no more Islamic channels.
Why?
All the Islamic channels in Bangladesh were shut down without any notice. I think this happened around 2013. Right. So overnight, all Islamic TV channels in Bangladesh, they were shut down. So I said, okay. So I stood up next day and I established Iqra Bangla in UK, transmitting into Bangladesh.
MashaAllah.
So I put the channel on the satellite that is hovering over Bangladesh. So cable operators, they can download this channel.
MashaAllah.
So I don't need license for that from Bangladesh government as such. If I'm basically transmitting from Bangladesh, then I need their license. But I'm transmitting from UK, sending signal to the satellite that is hovering over Bangladesh. So they are downloading. So now, mashallah, Iqra Bangla is so famous. Everybody in Bangladesh knows Iqra Bangla.
MashaAllah.
Once a year I go to Bangladesh, we have 500,000 audience.
Wow, MashaAllah. It means that Allah gave you the easier way to have the TV station in Bangladesh. And speaking about Bangladesh, it's quite interesting. Bangladesh now has some kind of a, it's quite an issue. But we're in Indonesia, it was like gray news. We don't know anything about what happened there exactly. Well, some people who search it in social media, well, we're not for sure. Is it the right source or not? Yeah. So what is happening in Bangladesh, on your view?
Right. I must say disclaimer that I have to be very careful with what I say, because I have huge team members in Bangladesh. So I don't want
still
to,
now.
We have huge projects over there in Bangladesh. In terms of education, we have media offices, we have basically humanitarian work. So I don't want my team to be affected by this. So I'll try to keep it balanced for you. The reality is that if you go back in history, Sheikh Hasina, who was the prime minister, who had to run away from Bangladesh, her father is the founding father of Bangladesh.
Is it some kind of hero?
Yeah. So like, you have Mahatma Gandhi, for example. Everyone knows Mahatma Gandhi.
It was like Ataturk probably in Turkey.
So these are the founders of the country, you can say. Now, after foundation of Bangladesh, couple of years later, there was conflict and this and that. And her father's family, entire family, all the basically male, female, everybody in that family were murdered. And she was the only survived as a child. So you can understand the history behind this, to set the scene. That her father was the founder of Bangladesh, and certain army personals along with opposition party, whatever happened basically at that time, they attacked her family and killed everybody except for her. So she grew up with a lot of pain and so on, this and that, a lot of bad memories and like that. And since then, she does not tolerate anybody speaking against Bangladesh or basically anybody took any part in any movement against Bangladesh. Going one step before that, before Bangladesh and Pakistan was one country.
It was?
Yes. Bangladesh was known as East Pakistan.
Oh, I just knew that.
Yes. When British people, they came out of India, they handed over India to Indian Hindu, you can say, ruling party, and they handed over Pakistan to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, with Sheikh Mujib and all those political leaders. Bangladesh was part of Pakistan. Although there was India in between, and there was no direct land connection between Pakistan and East Pakistan of that time, which is Bangladesh of today. So Pakistan and Bangladesh was one country before.
Yeah.
And Pakistan was founded in the name of Islam.
Yeah.
In the name of Quran and in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so on. Now, after that, basically, India is started to, I'm from India originally, India is started to interfere in Bangladesh politics and started to plant the idea of freedom from Pakistan. And with the help of, you can say, with the backing of India, they were successful in claiming independence from Pakistan. Now, India, Pakistan was formed in 1946, 48, right? And this Bangladesh thing happened, I think, in 1970s, right? 1970 or so. And so Bangladesh became separate. Now, at that time, there were ulama, scholars, and there were basically politicians who were against the partition, who wanted to remain part of Pakistan. Yes. And as a human being, you have a right to have your political thinking. Obviously, there can be only two groups. One group will be that, no, we should become independent of Pakistan. Other group will be that, no, we should remain as part of Pakistan. Pakistan is Islamic country and we are Muslims and so on. Now, anybody who supported this ideology in 1960s, 70s, she took very harsh stance against them, to the extent that gave many of them death penalty.
Oh, the pro-Palestine, pro-Pakistan.
Yes, pro-Pakistani Bangladeshi.
Oh,
the Bangladeshis who were pro-Pakistani. So sadly, I mean, Bangladeshis are very nice people, very humble people. But when it comes to Pakistan, I don't know why they have so much hatred.
Why is that? I mean, is there any bad story?
Yes, there are bad memories. Because and the reality is that Pakistan didn't treat East Pakistan of that time that well. East Pakistan had majority of the population, more population than West Pakistan, the mainland Pakistan. East Pakistan was bringing more resources, more factories, more, you can say, agriculture, wealth and like that. Where the West Pakistan didn't have that much resources. So they were taking the resources from there, but not spending on them. So many wrong things happen. Let's face it. Right? But the reality is, because of that, in Bangladesh, many people became victim of that politics, even 70, 80 years later. Right? Some of them were given death sentence. And then other part of it is that historically, there have been certain ulama or students, like you can say Taliban, for example. Not Taliban of Afghanistan, but Taliban means students.
Students in...
Right? Students of madrasa. Right now, this movement was students of college. Right? But these were the Muslim students of Islamic universities and like that. They demonstrated for certain issues. Maybe, let's say, Bangladesh is getting very close to India, or India influencing a lot Bangladesh. And I'm talking about this just few years back, 5 to 10 years ago. And those demonstrators were dead. They were shot dead.
How many people?
You're talking about thousands.
Thousands.
Yes.
So
Thousands.
adding with the previous one was thousands then.
Yes.
From the first time that the lady ruling in the Bangladesh, all of the pro-Pakistani were being executed, and the demonstrator also.
Yes. Now, I don't know the extent of those who've been executed, what was the court case against them and so on, this and that. But there are cases. I'm not sure how many of them.
But thousands.
Could be hundreds, could be thousands, but some of them are very big, elderly, practicing Muslim scholars, even Sheikhul Hadith, and like that. They have hundreds of thousands of students around the world. They were basically, you can say, killed as death sentence.
But the government are a Muslim government, right?
Yes.
So it was like a civil war. It was like it is not a war.
So historically, that's what happened, and obviously there is a limit how much people going to tolerate, and a point will come where people are demonstrating. You demonstrate and you shoot the demonstrator, but demonstrator will say, "Will carry on demonstrating." So last week, basically, what happened that in Dhaka, the government said there is curfew. Nobody is allowed to come out on the street.
Yeah,
right. It's still tens of thousands of the students. They said, "We don't care about the curfew. We are marching towards presidential palace."
Oh, and they shoot them.
Yes. No, they didn't shoot them. They were marching towards presidential palace, and at that time, army said that these are in hundreds of thousands, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. We cannot stop them, and if they enter the palace, then your life is at risk.
Wow!
So on the spot, she had to run away from there. So without giving any, you can say, judgment here, who is right, who is wrong. The reality is, whatever has happened previously at the hands of this government and with this government at the hands of public is sad tragedy. But at the same time, people in Bangladesh, they are now feeling relieved, they're feeling happy and so on. Yes, there is still anger against army because army have shot dead people openly.
So they shot dead the demonstrators?
Yes.
On the field?
Yes.
With the real bullet? Because in Indonesia sometimes there's something but with rubber bullet.
No, this is basically that just with one shot you are dead. Such bullets.
Wow.
With one shot. I mean, because I have a team in Bangladesh, a television team. So I was receiving real lifetime news.
Wow.
To the extent that at that time I contacted Al Jazeera TV. I have good contact with them, and I said that if you need news, latest update, I have it.
MashaAllah.
You know, so they said yes, we have a team on the ground. We are receiving, but if we need, we will let you know.
Oh, MashaAllah. Yeah. So how is the relation between? Or before, I'm so curious about India. Then, so what is the benefit of India? Pushing the government against his people and
the real enemy of India is Pakistan.
So they are pushing Bangladesh against Pakistan.
That's right. Yes.
What is the benefit for India?
Political benefit, because they don't want Pakistan. So, for example, when Imran Khan was Prime Minister, Imran Khan sent mangoes, token of friendship, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Sorry, to Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And likewise, then she sent Bangladeshi mangoes to him. That is just exchange of gift. But that put India so upset. So upset. So India does get really worked up when it comes to Bangladesh. And right now, India is trying to give this situation as basically that Hindus in Bangladesh are being attacked and they are in danger because since Hasina is ousted. While the reality is that in Bangladesh, masajids are announcing, if any Hindu feels threatened or danger, please, you are most welcome to enter masjid and seek refuge here.
MashaAllah.
You know, people are protecting Hindus more than they're protecting their own families.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. There have been incidents, certain Hindus have been dragged on the street and so on, but that is because of their political affiliation to the ruling party, or they were police officers who have murdered people, or they were army officers who have murdered people. So sad incidents has happened. But that to link that with basically Hindu-Muslim clashes, no. Bangladesh is purely political scenario, nothing to do with religion. And it should be taken in political context. Religion should not be brought into this matter, even by India. And India doing this is making situation even worse for itself, because there will be new government in Bangladesh. And India burning their bridges by talking against them. In any country in the world, when there is new ruling party, even if it is dictator, everybody try to basically have reasonable line of communication
connection.
At least line of communication should remain open. You don't cut off line of communication.
Wow.
So sorry, I talk a lot.
No problem. But it is kind of new for me, actually. I mean, this kind of information never heard. Curiosity about the president, the lady. So she flew to where?
India.
To India.
Yes.
So we know who's the mastermind behind.
Well, I would say that the only choice at that moment, or the reasonable choice at that moment, was to fly to India.
I see.
You see, because if she flies somewhere else, then let's say if she arrives in Dubai, then there are, you can say, I don't know, but there are hundreds of thousands of Bangladeshis in Dubai. There is a danger to her life over there.
See.
India or basically European countries can give her better protection. Mind you, I mean, that's why I'm saying that I need to be very careful. Mind you, when it comes to Khair Foundation, myself and my organization, she have supported us fully. So I have received a lot of support from her office. While basically in past 6 years, Bangladesh did not give registration to any Muslim organization from any country in the world except for Khair Foundation. Our office made exception for us. So personally, yes, I haven't met her. I could have if I wanted to. But I didn't meet her because what she did with our Islamic scholars. So her favors, thank you very much. But at the same time, I have this, that you have blood of our scholars and our students on your end. Yes, I met the president of the Bangladesh previously, the former president and so on. So personally myself, I have had good time with this government. And we have good connection with a coming government also, mashallah. Former president who completed his term, mashallah, in office, his son, president's son, brother Tawfiq, I hope he don't mind me mentioning this. He is our humble volunteer for Khair Foundation, mashallah.
MashaAllah. After I heard your explanation about Bangladesh, I can see that I'm facing a very, what do you call it? There's a very high value Muslim right here, because he is actually your inheritance from India. You live in London, you have many schools, and you have TV stations in London, and you have also network in Bangladesh, and now you're here in Indonesia.
No, let me make it even worse. Okay, let me make it. I was born in India. When I was 6 months old, I moved to Kenya. My two sisters were born in Kenya. Then when I was 15-year-old, we moved to UK. Those two sisters who were born in Kenya, they got married in America. Then in UK, mashallah, I have 5 children who were born and were there. My 2 daughters, they got married. They got married in Saudi Arabia, in Medina Munawwara. My brother lived in Dubai.
Wow. Your family is almost in the whole world, yeah, mashallah.
Yeah, and I've literally bought on paper plots on Moon and on Mars.
So I'm wondering, if this kind of da'wah that you do is not a simple da'wah. I mean, it's an extraordinary. How did your parents raise you? So you become this with this gira. I mean, full of spirit in da'wah. How do they raise you about Islam?
Yes, luckily, fortunately, mashallah, I belong to a family that has scholars. Almost every single person was a scholar in that family for past 250 years. Right. And the reason I'm saying 250 years, that up to 250 years, we know the record, we know their history and so on. We know our lineage and our family going as back as you can say.
You know your nasab.
Nasab up to the end, which I have never spoken on media about.
MashaAllah.
So I know basically even 1500 years back, basically where our lineage is going. Again, I don't speak on media about that, or I haven't spoken about that anywhere.
Alhamdulillah.
On event or anything like that. So mashallah, I belong to a scholarly family. If you look at it, basically my father in 1964, when he was only 24 years old, he wrote Tafsir of Quran in 6 volumes. I mean, 24-year-old.
Yeah. Ah, mashallah.
Right. So, and that tafsir is, if I explain to you, 1960s is the time when Bollywood industry started to boom.
Yeah.
Right. And at that time, it was not time for television. People didn't have TVs at home.
No social media as well.
Yeah, nothing. That time was for magazines. Printed magazines. That was the real media of that time. So Bollywood used to publish magazines every month or every week, you know, with the pictures of Bollywood actresses and so on. But at that time, actresses used to wear proper dress, sari or like that and so on. So the real attraction used to be just showing their face or like that. So there used to be news about Bollywood, and that was the sensation of that time in India. So my father, basically, he traveled across India at that time in train journeys that at that time used to take 1 week, now takes 12 hours.
Whoa.
Right.
That
journey which now takes 12 hours by train or 15 hours by train, at that time used to take 5 days or 1 week.
Whoa.
Right, wooden seats and so on. He traveled different parts of India at that time, and he made members. And he said that just like these magazines, I'm going to send you 1 magazine every month. And all you have to do is pay to the postman for the postage of it. And he made 10,000 members.
Wow.
Right. And he said it will be Islamic magazine and with Islamic content and so on. So just imagine to have 10,000 members at that time in 1960s in different parts of India and so on. And he started to write 1 juz tafsir every month in form of magazine.
Oh.
Right. So not magazine, but it used to be like 1 juz with all the ayats.
It was like a booklet, eh?
Yeah, like proper, you can say 100-page booklet. 100-page, 150-page booklet or 70-page booklet with all the ayats of 1 juz, with translation, with some explanation, and with connection of this ayah, previous ayah, or this surah with previous surah, and like that. So he started to write tafsir like that. In 30 months, it became 30 juz.
MashaAllah.
And it was the most unique idea of the century at that time.
So he's the pioneer on that.
Yes.
Nobody has done it before.
In this manner, nobody has done it before. And that sort of tafsir up to now, you will not find anybody else doing it. That short, simple tafsir. We haven't translated it into English yet, but in Urdu, in India, in UK, there is some translation going on in Bangladesh. So it's very famous. I mean, since 1960s, that tafsir is continuing up to now. Just imagine.
Oh, still now?
Yes, still now. We had to change the language of it because 1960s Urdu language was different to what it is now. So we had to rewrite. We had to basically update the translation and so on. So it has been written. Before it was in 6 volumes, now it is in 10 volumes. So coming back to your question, I belong to Alhamdulillah that family, thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single boy in that family is at least Hafiz of Quran, if not alim, mashallah.
Masya Allah, Masya Allah. Guys, ini asalnya kenapa beliau ini jadi pendakwah yang ya bukan levelnya kaleng-kaleng ya, karena apa namanya melewati negara, kemudian berbagai culture yang berbeda. Ternyata dari ayahnya yang menyebarkan dakwah melalui majalah gitu, majalah buatan dia sendiri. Ini menarik ya. Ini ide karena seorang punya semangat dakwah. So your father should be very popular at that moment. Till now?
No, sadly he died 3 years ago in December 2019. But he was the biggest Islamic university of Asia, mashallah. The principal of that sent him to Nairobi, to Kenya, to be imam of very large masjid there and to be advisor on Islamic affairs to the president of Kenya.
Oh, mashallah.
So from 1970 till 1983, he served there. Then he wrote a letter in 1981 or 82. He wrote a letter to the principal that now Kenya is well established and there are many scholars here, and I want to come back to India and reunite my family again, and so on. And principal wrote to him that now you go towards UK and establish Islamic knowledge centers there, and so on. So mashallah, he went to UK, and after arriving there, in very few months, you can say, not years, but few months, he laid foundation of a very large masjid. That masjid was constructed by 1987. At that time, it was one of the top 5 largest masjids of the country, mashallah, having 4,000 people attending for Salatul Jumu'ah.
Mashallah.
So he served that masjid in mashallah for another 15 years or so until 1996-97, and I was imam in another masjid at that time, and I used to visit prisons of UK to give dawah. So then the management, my father couldn't carry on health grounds, and for 1 year there was a gap. So then management said, no, you come to this masjid and you serve here. So for 8 years I was imam in the same masjid, mashallah. And giving dawah to people. I mean, I made a rule over there that any policeman joining Croydon area, that masjid area basically, has to attend masjid before their appointment is confirmed as part of their training, because there were incidents in 1998-99 where certain Muslims in police custody in police station, they were praying salah, and police was beating them simply because they didn't knew what they're doing. So I started national campaign at that time that police should be trained how Muslims worship. I see. If they're doing this action, they know that, okay, it's not mental case. He's just fulfilling his obligation.
Mashallah. So what year was that when you first time you become imam?
1996.
The number, is it as big as now or just growing or minority?
Muslims? Now is huge number. At that time it wasn't that much. At that time maybe UK had less than 1 million Muslims.
So how do you manage becoming the imam, or probably your NGO? I heard that your NGO is one of the biggest in England. So
possibly in the world.
In the world. Ini dia, ini namanya marwah ya guys ya.
You know, when you are crossing just your delivery in Gaza, crossing 1 trillion Indonesian rupiah.
Mashallah.
1 trillion, not 100 billion or 500 billion, 1 trillion Indonesian rupiah. Your distribution in past 6-7 months is crossing that. I'm sure then you are entitled to be called one of the worst.
1 trillion?
1 trillion rupiah, mashallah, we have crossed in Gaza alone.
In the past 10 months?
Yes, since October till now.
Mashallah. Guys, ini bukan yang paling gede di Inggris di dunia guys. Ini salah informasi guys. Mashallah. How could you manage that this big NGO from a very minority community in if even in Indonesia, probably in majority Muslims, probably you have many teams and everything, and spreading many places, and then
I mean, to be honest, I told you just now that I was imam for 8 years. I was so shy about asking donation that in those 8 years I have never made announcement for any organization or anybody, any masjid coming for collection, even if it was my teacher. I didn't make announcement that I know this guy, please donate. I was very, very, very shy.
Why is that?
Of asking donation, asking money from public. And from childhood, I have been, alhamdulillah, business minded. When I was a student, I was very well to do. I was considered one of the richest students, mashallah. So I grew up. I come from poor family background, but from the age of 7, 8, as young as 7, 8, I became business minded. And mashallah, from childhood, I've been helping out people with my own money. So if you have good life for yourself, and you are helping people with your money, how embarrassed you will feel to ask others to help. So that's how shy I was. In 2003, I started this school. I didn't had at that time when I started primary school. So the money I had in UK at that time, I had money in India and other places and so on. But the money I had in UK completely finished. And I couldn't afford the cleaners. I was cleaning the building myself.
Oh, really?
Rather than asking people to give me some donation.
Subhanallah.
When we started the school, I'm opening the secret for the first time in the media now. When I started at primary school, obviously we were running a very tight budget. After a school used to shut down, I was the one who used to clean the toilets of the school because we couldn't afford the cleaner. Inshallah.
So, how long was that? I mean, you becoming the multiple job?
This was in 2003.
2003.
Yeah, 2003. And after that, alhamdulillah, I mean, within 2 years, the school was established very well. And then in 2008, I started to work on having our own TV channel. In 2009, we launched Iqra TV. In 2013, we launched Iqra Bangla. Then we launched third TV channel, Islam TV.
MashaAllah.
So, mashallah, 3 TV channels in UK. But all these 3 TV channels, we are running with less than 20-25 team members.
25 team members. It is online or broadcast?
No, broadcast on Sky platform. 9 million households, more than 9 million, maybe 9.7, 9.8 million households in UK have access to this channel.
Wow. Whoa, it's kind of new to me.
So it's not basically just... it is well-known channel in UK. I mean, sadly, we didn't pay that much attention to social media, so we are not that strong on social media. I myself... or the channel organization has maybe about 250,000 followers. That's it. I have maybe 15-20,000 followers, and that's it.
Oh, but your value is more than that, way more than that. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So I lost for words. Actually, you can manage 3 TV stations with only 25 employees, right?
Yes.
So I had probably around 35, but I have no TV stations. Oh, mashallah. I should learn from you then. If I were you, probably, I don't know where to start first, actually, because you don't have any consumer, right? Because it's minority. At first, I think, what do we have to do? I mean, if you do the TV da'wah, there's no Muslims here, probably so little number, but you can prove that. How many million was that?
The viewers generally, majority viewers are Muslims. So we might have, let's say, about 1 million plus viewers at a time. This is in UK, but the channel is going across whole Europe, is going in America, Canada, is going.
It's online as well.
No, it's on online as well as on different boxes. So the satellite that covers Europe is called Eurobird. There are 2 main satellites that broadcast channels into Europe. That is Hotbird and Eurobird. Many of the Middle Eastern channels are on Hotbird. and many of the British channels are on Eurobird. So we are on Eurobird. Then we are transmitting through Roku boxes and like that in America, Canada, and so on. We don't ask anybody to transmit our channel. These boxes and cable operators, they themselves add our channel. You know,
how do they find you then?
Because we just place ourselves on their satellite. So if I want to launch channel in Indonesia, there are two ways for that. One is basically difficult way, that I take permission from Indonesian government to launch channel from here, to transmit and broadcast from here. And other option is that I make programs and contents. I make a company and create contents in Indonesia, but then from here I send those content online to UK, and from UK I send to the satellite that is above Indonesia, and then cable operators download from there.
MashaAllah. Wow, it opens up many perspectives for me.
Many opportunities.
Many opportunities, MashaAllah. So, well, actually, Allah's way is very wide. Yeah.
You see the way the message of shaitan is going faster. Similarly, opportunities of spreading dawah, spreading message of Allah and message of Quran and Hadith is becoming easier.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah. So it's becoming a lot easy now to practice Deen and Islam than before.
Yeah.
Islam will never outdate.
Yeah.
It will not be outdated.
Yeah.
It will never be out of fashion. And Islam is very easy, very, very easy to practice. It's we who made it difficult.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Our mindset sometimes, the mindset sometimes think that Islam is quite hard and things like that. So, well, actually, opportunities is everywhere. Yeah.
Yes.
So how is the Muslims in London? You said that it's only 5%. So how can you move?
We are a very small percentage, maybe less than 5%. I mean, out of 78 million population, nearly 80 million population, we are about 3 million, you can say. So around 5%. But Alhamdulillah, Muslims in UK are very, very, very strong.
Very strong.
Yes, very strong, mashallah. We are basically deep-rooted into community and society, and we feel that any country where we are, we should serve that country also and people of that country also. Okay, it has two parts, obviously. One is personal faith and practicing of your religion, and second one is mixing with the system and society and business and community and like that. In terms of personal faith, if you go to America, for example, right now, you will find there people eat meat from any shop or any restaurant. They call it zabiha.
Is zabiha?
Zabiha means basically slaughtered by Ahlul Kitab.
Oh yeah.
Right, slaughtered by Christians or Jews.
Yeah.
So they would eat that.
Is it okay with them?
Whether it's okay or not, that's I'll come to that in a moment. Many of the European countries are also like that. My father, I remember when I was 15-year-old in 1985, in very large scholarly gathering, in which future vision of British Muslims was being discussed. Planning for next 25-30 years was being discussed in that meeting. My father said in that meeting that if you compromise on any aspect of Muslim lifestyle, then you will never be able to create your own identity in this country. You will always remain second class. You will always be taken for granted. Right? So therefore, when it comes to halal food, you should not compromise, go for zabiha or this option or that option. And one very clear answer my father gave at that time, which sticks in my mind clearly. I even can picture him explaining that. He said that, where does it say in Quran or Hadith that if you live in Christian country, then you can eat meat in any restaurant? Where does it say? Where does it say that if you live in Jewish country or Jewish neighborhood, you can eat meat from any restaurant? The question is that it talks about basically the person who's slaughtering the animal, if it's Christian, practicing Christian, or is Jewish, then that is permissible for you. But how do you know the slaughterhouses in America, in Europe, in Britain, the person who's slaughtering the animal in those slaughterhouses is not Hindu. Is not, you can say, Buddhist. Buddhists wouldn't work in slaughterhouse generally, but it's not basically other community that are out of Ahlul Kitab.
Yeah.
So that was valid question, and everybody said, yes, you are right. So we shouldn't have blanket rule. My father said, let's not compromise on this. Let's stick to halal. Let's make sure that every city of UK have access to halal meat.
Oh, mashallah.
Right? That was one example. Then other example is talking about halal mortgage or Islamic finance or compromising on when it comes to Islamic finance, taking loan on interest, to compromise on that. He said, we're not going to compromise on this. When it comes to Islamic dress, we're not going to compromise on this. People are free to wear whatever they want. But we're not going to advise people that we live in non-Muslim countries, so please wear trouser and shirt.
Oh,
right? So these type of principles were set up in 1985. I'm not saying only my father was the major player in that, but he was one of the key players. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah.
So from that moment, British Muslims decided that they're not going to go for easy path. They're going to go for the best path.
MashaAllah.
Best option. Therefore, if you look in France, there are maybe 5 times more Muslims in France than Britain. But there is hijab ban over there.
Yeah.
There is this and this and that. There are so many challenges. Why? Because they compromised on their principles.
Oh.
Right. Muslims in America, there are a lot more Muslims in America than Britain. I know America is a huge country, but they are wealthy, much more richer than British Muslims and so on. But because they learn to compromise. So the government takes them for granted also that, okay, they will keep on compromising. In Britain, government takes Muslims seriously, that these are serious, dedicated, practicing Muslims.
Whoa.
And British law and British system allows us to practice freely. I mean, just imagine that when I started Iqra TV, on legality, on the registration process, from the signing of the document to the launching of TV channel is not even 7 days.
Wow.
Not even 7 days.
That easy.
7 days before that, we didn't even knew what will be the name of the channel. Right. So filling the form and then managing to start TV channel within 7 days. We didn't have to go to any MP, please sir, can you sign this? We didn't have to approach Prime Minister office. Right. Is the system that works over there. When I started primary, secondary school, I just filled in registration form, sent it to Department for Education. They sent me registration number and I started the school.
Wow.
That's it. So 3 TV channels I've started one after another. I didn't have to take permission from the government. I mean by government, politicians. I never had to approach any politician. That's the beauty of British system.
Yeah.
It's amazing system. We need to appreciate what needs to be appreciated. UK has, sadly, let me use this terminology. Munafiq?
Yes, I know.
Right? Hypocrite.
Yes.
So if you look at the coin, it has head and tail.
Yeah.
Right? Like Munafiq, two-faced.
Yeah.
Right? So Britain has Munafiq, hypocrisy. When it comes to international politics, they go and destroy the world.
I see.
They would go and destroy the countries and nations and so on. They are the mastermind. America is not mastermind. Mastermind is Britain in reality. America is just foreign office for Britain. Europe is just communication, HR and basically IT offices of Britain.
Executor is British.
Executor is British. Right. So internationally, for out of Britain, they have very dirty policies. And they have created a lot of mess in past centuries in the world. But when it comes to within the country, they have very straightforward rules in favor of the community and society. Anybody who wants to live in Britain peacefully is fantastic place for them to be. I cannot start Islamic TV channels even for teaching Quran in Middle East countries. Right? I cannot start in Makkah, Medina. I cannot start in Qatar or in Kuwait or like that, basically. Forget about Indonesia or Malaysia. I'm talking about these rich countries. I cannot start over there. But in Britain, nobody can stop me. I can have 100 TV channels, no problem.
I thought there would be a threat. I mean, if Muslim have the communication there. Some threat in some countries in Europe.
As long as you are following the law, and you are being transparent.
Yeah, I mean, in some other country in Europe, it was like the threat when Muslim have the communication stage and then giving the ideology or things like that.
Yes, sadly, Muslims are not that strong in other countries of Europe.
What in Britain?
In Britain, we are. I mean, Mayor of London is Muslim. There are dozens of MPs that are Muslims. There is this area in London called Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf area. Canary Wharf is financial hub of the country. So the richest, the biggest banks, they are housed over there, and richest or top earners of the country, they work over there, whose salaries are basically more than $10,000 per month. While Muslims are only 5% of the community, there are 12-13% Muslims in that Canary Wharf area who are earning more than $10,000 a month. So we are at the top, mashallah.
MashaAllah.
We are deeply rooted. We are in the transportation system. We are basically in food industry. We are in agriculture. We are basically across the board. We are there, mashallah.
So I should visit there then.
Yes, most welcome. And let me know which dates you are coming, so I make sure I'm out of country.
You're so funny as well.
At least I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I'm not gonna tell you anything. It just suddenly I was in. I'm gonna be in London, mashallah. So we are now talking about Khair.
Yes.
Khair then. So how many countries Khair already contribute?
Yeah, there are countries where we have worked just for time being. Let's say Japan tsunami. When Japan tsunami came, we went to Japan. Not that people of Japan needed us, but we wanted to stand with people of Japan in their pain and suffering at that time. So we went to Japan. We did aid work over there, which was the best experience of my lifetime.
Whoa!
In terms of aid work, mashallah. So there are countries where we went and did some work and came back. In total, we're talking about 86, 87 countries so far. Nearly 100.
80.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, mashallah. Wow. It's bigger than I thought. Because I was being informed that Khair don't have any marketing division or things like that.
We don't have fundraising department. We don't have marketing department. In UK we have very small team. For the foundation, I think you're talking about again another 25-30 people in UK. So it's not that huge team. We bought a warehouse at the price of one house, you can say, large warehouse we bought. That's our office. My office is basically just a tiny piece, you can say, with simple furniture. We're running the world from there, mashallah. So very simple life. We don't have a tea boy in our office, for example. so
I'm so ashamed. Actually, it's not a tea boy. They're a cafe, but downstairs.
You have cafe downstairs. Yes. And I think the cafe is shut now. So after the show, we have to go somewhere else.
MashaAllah. So how do you gain the trust from that 80, 90 countries without any...
Okay, what happened? I have been in media since late 1990s on doing Islamic programs on media. And I think basically, personally, I believe that I was a lot more famous in early 2000 than I am now, mashallah. Because at that time, there was no Islamic channel. And it was only my program, my show, that was Islamic content in the country. And my content was going, alhamdulillah. I'm not saying this because of me or mine as pride or like that, but as a thank to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That show was going in 106 countries at that time. So, mashallah, I had good following when it comes to seeking knowledge and like that from before. Then I started primary, secondary school. We were charging the fee and it was running fine, alhamdulillah. Then we started Iqra TV. We invited Dr. Zakir Naik in 2006. Then in 2010, 2010 he was coming for our conference, and he had a ban in UK. That was our conference. It was at that time. Peace TV broadcast of whole Europe, America, Canada, Africa was being managed by my team members.
Peace TV?
Yes.
Oh, that.
So I have been very close to Dr. Zakir Naik for past maybe most probably about 25-30 years. So since hardly anybody knew him at that time. The director of Peace TV was Al Khair Foundation trustee. The managing director of Peace TV was one of my team member. So that's how closely we were. So I've been part of media openly or behind the scene in many cases, mashallah. So I have had right contacts, alhamdulillah. But again, I was very shy for asking donations. Suddenly Haiti earthquake happened. Haiti earthquake.
Haiti earthquake? Huh?
Yeah, there was earthquake. In
what year was that?
That was 12th of January morning, 2010.
2010, yeah. Oh yeah, I heard that.
12th of January 2010. Now just imagine, let's say there was earthquake in India, Pakistan in 2005, and 300,000 people died between Islamabad, Kashmir, India, and Delhi. So covering thousands of miles area, around 300,000 people died.
Mashallah.
But if you compare that, not mashallah, inna lillah, but if you look at Haiti, 300,000 people died in Haiti in 20-kilometer area.
Oh, so it's bigger than India then?
No, 20 kilometer.
20 kilometers?
Just a small area.
It's small area, but the casualties is same, almost the same.
Yeah, the casualty, that toll was same as thousands of miles of Indian earthquake.
So the earthquake is bigger than?
Earthquake was more dangerous over in Haiti, you can say. So wherever you go in Haiti, you will see dead bodies everywhere.
Wow.
And so hardly any Muslim organization from UK was responding to it at that time. I requested many organizations to come and fundraise on Iqra and go and deliver the project and come back and report to us. But they were not interested in it for one reason or another. And I decided to go myself to Haiti. And I was receiving lots of questions in my daily show at that time, that why you're not doing something for Haiti and this and that. And then one day I said, I'm going with my own 10,000 pounds and inshallah. And then people said, can we donate? I said, I don't know how you would donate. I had no donation hotline, no mechanism and so on, this and that. But then few volunteers got together, they arranged the system and so on. And within 24 to 48 hours, £250,000 was raised.
MashaAllah.
Was raised. And I was in flight to Haiti at that time. And when we arrived there, so that's how literally it started. When I came back, I thought, okay, this was just one-off episode and so on. Couple of months later, there was Pakistan floods. Floods in Pakistan. Few months later, in between, there was earthquake in Mexico, in Turkey, and so on. So we started to respond just temporarily as one emergency. But slowly, I mean, people started to ask us to get involved with widow project, with basically handicraft centers, with education and like that. And without intention, it became a proper humanitarian organization. One thing basically we try to demonstrate to people that whatever donation you are giving, 100% of that we are trying to implement.
Whoa.
So we don't have our own personal expenses as such. We don't have a staff on high salaries or like that.
There's no Amil share? Amil share? Amil Zakar, Amil
yeah, Amilina alayha. No, there are salaries, but in UK basically the government of UK they give you the tax that donors have paid on their donation amount. So that tax comes to the charity organization. That tax usually is, you can say, of overall donation is about 8%, 10% in total. Normally it's 25%. But not everybody is taxpayer. Majority people are elderly or like that, or not working, not taxpayer. So if we are raising, let's say, 20 million pound, then 8% of 20 million pound is 1.6 million pound, which is more than enough to manage our international operations.
MashaAllah.
Right? So that way 100% of the donors' money goes to the project. And with that vibe, it is spread across UK, mashallah. And slowly, initially I had first 100 donors, then I had first 1,000 donors, then 10,000 donors, then mashallah it reached 100,000 households that became our donor. And Allah showed me a day now where basically Prince of Qatar invited me to his office and signed agreement with me that my personal business wealth and like that will be distributed through your organization. Mashallah. So alhamdulillah, Al Jazeera supporting us quite heavily, alhamdulillah, because they have seen our work inside Gaza and so on. Anyway.
Wow. Wow. It's quite heavy for me. Inshallah. Okay, before we close down. Oh my God. This is the whale. MashaAllah. You said that.
And this is unscripted show, yeah?
Yeah, this is unscripted. I never thought I heard this kind of stuff from you. So, I heard that you have one narration or one quote that our lives is only 2 minutes. So what would that mean, 2 minutes?
Yeah, basically in every language, almost in every language of the world, there is a saying that this worldly life is equal to 2 minutes. Right? You must have heard this also in any language.
In Indonesia, we say that 3.5 hours, not 2 minutes.
Right. But in Urdu also there is 2 minute ki zindagi.
Yeah.
Right. In Arabic also is saying that in multiple languages there is this saying that this life is only 2 minutes. Now where this 2 minutes come from? By what calculation this life is 2 minutes? I couldn't find this answer to this in any book or from any scholar as such. Until my mind went towards this ayah, chapter number Surah Al-Ma'arij in 29th part of Al-Quran, ayah number 4, talking about Day of Judgment, Yawm Al-Qiyamah. سأل سائل بعذاب واقع للكافرين ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة. On the Day of Judgment, that is equal to 50,000 years. The day of that, that one day of it is equal to 50,000 years. And I started to calculate from there. 50,000 years. If one day is equal to 50,000 years, so if there are 24 hours in one day, right? So you divide by 24, it becomes 2,083 years in 1 hour. Wow. Comparing to Day of Judgment. So it means we are in 2024 right now. Since Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, since when this calendar is started from the birth of Jesus, Isa ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, we haven't spent even 1 hour comparing to Day of Judgment. All those people who lived, not from the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but from the time of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam up to now. We are in 2024. When we reach 2083, then it will be 1 hour equal to Day of Judgment. Now you divide this 2083 by 60 minutes. It comes to nearly 35 years. 35 years. And average age of this nation, this ummah, is 70 years, 65, 70 years.
I see.
Right. So if 1 minute is 35 years, the average age is 70 years.
Almost 2 minutes.
Almost 2 minutes.
MashaAllah.
Right. Now, do I want to spoil my entire day of Qiyamah because of this 2 minutes? If you know, for example, that if for 2 minutes you don't behave, your entire day is spoiled. It will be most foolish person who mess around for 2 minutes, knowing that his entire day will be spoiled. While the reality is that this is we talking about only for Day of Judgment. In reality, the life of hereafter is everlasting. The life of paradise, the life of hellfire is forever. So this 70 years in this world, which equal to 2 minutes of Day of Judgment, having impact on millions, billions of years of your life. Every breath you take in this world, every single alphabet you basically pronounce will make or will break millions of years of life of yours in hereafter.
Inshallah. It's mind-blowing. Wow. So it means that many people do too serious on the things that is not important and not serious on the things that is important. So make sure that we get a very important and useful 2 minutes, mashallah. Wow, so mind-blowing. You find it yourself? Just is there any ustaz that
No, I managed to.
Mashallah.
I'm not sure if it is in any book or not. I didn't find, but if it is, Allah knows best.
Mashallah. There's so many limitation in doing your stuff in Britain, and then you explaining with us, it was like snap.
You know, people say to me that don't work too hard because you know, you will get old and it will affect your health. I said that means I have very short time to live, so I should work even more harder.
I should rewatch this video again and put a note as a quote. So I put it on the status of Instagram. Inshallah. Today, thank you very much for your times here, and then it's very an honor for me to hear directly from you.
Pleasure.
It is a very, I think, it's going to be many changes in my life about your perspective about da'wah. And then
subhanallah, I mean, with this da'wah work, many people around the world changing, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
There is one sister in Bollywood, Bollywood industry, Sister Sana Khan. Mashallah, she is my like young sister. In fact, she's like my daughter.
Yeah.
She's just slightly older than my daughter. So I treat her as my daughter. She moved away from Bollywood. She did tawbah. She left the industry forever. And she is basically a huge sensation in India. Even now, she has millions of following. If you just search Sana Khan, S-A-N-A, Sana Khan. She married to a scholar, mashallah, in India. She is a great example. You yourself, I don't need to go into detail. Your viewers knows about you, mashallah. You are a great example. You guys are beacon of hope for future, inshallah. You are the light. You are the one who's taking people out of darkness and bringing them into light of Islam, mashallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve you guys and bless all of you, inshallah.
Thank you very much. But one thing, I have, there are my followers want to actually put the donation through the Al Khairat as well. It's so small compared to what you told us. It's only 100 million rupiahs.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. I hope you will accept it.
I mean, inshallah. In fact, I would insist that I will double this, multiply this, inshallah. You come to Jordan at any your flexible date. You do the packaging of this stuff yourself. You do the boxing. You can, inshallah, pass the message. So everybody knows that you have delivered their amana and trust.
MashaAllah. Wow. It's so mind-blowing. Today it was like I have a big shock today. Bismillah. MashaAllah. Probably it's only a snack in your foundation, yeah.
Sadly, I cannot use this for a snack also. Otherwise, it will bite me like a snake.
Oh, snake, not snake. You're so funny. Oh, mashallah, mashallah. I could receive this, and then guys, titipannya udah dijalankan, dan kalau kita dengar tadi kayak gitu nggak ada apa-apanya ya guys. Mudah-mudahan bisa diterima. Ini titipan dari teman-teman semuanya. Bismillah. Dan thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy the time here. I'm so sorry probably that there is no proper welcoming from us.
Try better next time.
Wow, you have so many punchlines.
Naturally, yeah.
Oh, it's naturally, ya. Masya Allah. Was that scripted? Masya Allah. Guys, di sini nih beliau nih, semuanya udah kita lihat ya, bagaimana jaringannya dia, sebeluas apa, sebesar apa, tapi begitu humble di depan kita, dan orangnya juga begitu lucu ya. Silakan yang mau follow langsung aja. If my followers want to add your Instagram, what is your Instagram?
I think it's imam.qasim.uk. I think
Imam Qasim.
I think
Qasim.uk.
So I'm more active on Facebook.
Facebook?
But, Instagram is imam.qasim.
And Khair also on Instagram, ya?
Yes,
Al
Khair Foundation.
Khair Foundation.
Khair Foundation UK.
Oh, Masya Allah. Jazakallah khair for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'll be visiting in Jordan or in Britain, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you.
I won't call you.
Yes, you know, when I give my visiting card to anybody, I say that you know where I am at any point. If you have any issue or anything like that, you know my email, you know my contact number, just hesitate.
Masya Allah, it's different quote, yeah. It's very unique punchline you have there. I should note it down. Masya Allah, guys, ini keren banget. Mudah-mudahan teman-teman bisa mengambil banyak pelajaran di sini. Sampai ketemu lagi di episode berikutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.